Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to UGC Season 10, Week 3. This evening, we're going to be bringing you a Beginners Division match of the Outsiders versus Solar Eclipse. Tonight, I'm your host and caster, Magnum Phoenix, and with me, my co-host and co-caster, Benny Buckeye. How's it going, Benny?
I have had a time of it today, let me tell you what. But that's all in the past now. Like you said, we're going to be watching the Outsiders versus Solar Eclipse. Solar Eclipse with a much larger pool of players to draw from. However, that doesn't help them in the SR category. The Outsiders definitely coming in with a much higher SR. The average player coming in as a Platinum. So definitely going to be expecting Solar Eclipse in the underdog role tonight versus the Outsiders.
Solar Eclipse may not have the SR, but what they do have is fairly good team coordination. Both of these teams with nice meta matching icons for each other, and that's what you love to see. A bit of cohesion and team spirit together. And besides the memes and the player icons, we do know that a lot of the things that determine matches in categories of this SR will be your teamwork. And so, you know, SR may not mean a whole lot. The players individually may not pop off a whole lot, but it's as a team where where multiple people are kind of on the same page. That's what will determine the team fights. And so, depending on how tight-knit each of these teams are, it's anyone's game, really.
That it is, and we're going to be starting in 5 seconds here as the heroes are going to be assembled. Are you expecting to see goats or maybe something more like a Pharah coming out?
Well, it appears that Pharah may be seen here, and honestly, Pharah's not a bad choice because one of the primary counters to Pharah is hit scan, and one of the primary weaknesses of lower SR players is being able to aim on hit scan heroes. And so I don't mean that in a derogatory fashion at all. It's just very hard to master characters such as McCree, Widowmaker, Soldier, and characters that deal splash damage. They can get a lot of value when they're not being pestered all the time.
The cannon, it occurs to me that I've thrown my phone across the room in frustration a few moments ago, so I'll have to get that in a minute to read the Twitch chat. But as of right now, we are underway. Team fight number 1 has begun, but no one has drawn first blood just yet.
It looks like a little bit of positional advantage on the side of Outsiders right now. However, the kills are also rolling that direction.
We are seeing the trades come in here. Trintalis goes down to Mighty Magic. Sorrow is punched in the face by Flappy Bird. That's an older meme right there. Seek Matrix takes one. Mighty Magic's another. Sorrow a third. And the point firmly goes into the hands of the Outsiders.
Outsiders looking pretty strong here in their first fight, and along with that strength and early positional control, they'll be gaining early advantage on ultimates. We have the Pulse Bomb online, actually for both teams, but more importantly, you've got a Diva Bomb coming online for Arcano. And so that bomb could be used to get a couple opening picks and try and stop the push before it even happens, but that's going to be the job of Sorrow, dropping that bomb and getting a nice pick.
And giving the enemy team a little bit of sorrow as well, as you can clearly see. Mixie and Arcano adding to the fray. Phantom Tissue demeched and destroyed, and this is just cleanup crew right now for the Outsiders.
Some pretty good ultimate usage there. Sorrow using only a Pulse Bomb to get that early pick and allowing the rest of their team to just bank up those ultimates. It's going to be 5 ults online, and Sorrow's even halfway up to another Pulse Bomb. So excellent ult usage there, and they should be able to shut down this next push coming in from Solar Eclipse pretty easily, provided they manage things and don't get picked early here.
I could use some assistance.
And not getting picked early, always the major key, especially on these beginner games. If you get caught out of position due to lack of experience, you are going to pay for it, and your team is also going to suffer. Mighty Magix takes down 6 out. This has been very one-sided. Outsiders doing almost all of the damage so far. Eerie does bring back 6 out for the push, but all the way up to 80%, the Outsiders clearly have a massive advantage. We do see 2 ultimates, 3 ultimates now on the side of Solar Eclipse, but Eerie isn't going to get the chance to pop theirs.
The kills still firmly rolling on the side of the Outsiders. And the barrage coming in to kind of secure things out. Mighty Magic's finding one with that. And eventually taken out. Blows coming both ways now. However, it's pretty much just the D.Va to contest the point. A little bit of an ult coming out from the Mercy to stall. Overall, and not a whole lot left on the side of Solar Eclipse.
Still one man on the point contesting. Oh boy, that overtime really is going to drop quick if the Outsiders manage to push the Solar Eclipse off the point. That D.Va Bomb might be enough to just do it. Overtime ticking away, and that it is Outsiders securing the objective on this first map.
A clean 100-0 there. Outsiders looking dominant over Solar Eclipse. However, the map is not over yet. And on these particular maps, it can really be anyone's game up until the very end. Some teams, I've seen a lot of teams where they play the first map and it's just not their round. I remember the team that I used to play on, we had a point on Ilios, or I'm sorry, it was Nepal that we played, where we would almost always lose 1 point of Nepal. It was a particular round of Nepal that we would always lose. Then we would almost always win a different one. And so some maps were just really bad on, and no exception for other teams. You can't be a master of all trades. So excited to see if Solar can pull this back here on the second round of Oasis.
And sometimes that just comes down to practice. Sometimes that breaks down to just natural player tendencies and the way their skills apply. And right at the moment, we're seeing Mighty Magic skills not serving him well as Trintblast shoots him in the chest. Goodbye, Hanzo. Phantom Tissue is demeched. Sorrow finishes the job. Seek Matrix is gone. We've seen 2 picks apiece for each team here, so things very intense on this particular point.
Sorrow is deep in enemy lines here on the Soldier. Manages to run out with that sprint ability. However, it looks like Solar Eclipse is doing some work here on the point. An early EMP from Trintblast. And unfortunately taken out by a couple on the side of Outsiders. And now the kills are rolling in. Mighty Magics with a couple picks there.
Picks indeed, and the Outsiders are going to secure this objective. And kill poor Phantom Tissue out in the roadway. That is some GTA-style murder right there. R.I.P. And they're a little bit staggered as they come in. Flappy Bird going to be bringing in a Deadeye for Solar Eclipse. Isha and Sorrow with a Nano Boost and Sights respectively. So let's see what they're able to capitalize on right here.
Yeah, the Nano Boost and Soldier Ultimate combination could be deadly, especially from high ground here. That's exactly... We're going to be seeing one of those. Flappy Bird, though, with a nice pick of his own on the High Noon. Phantom able to drop the Soldier from the high ground.
And Seek Matrix finds 3 with the area denial. Hello? Phantom Tissue 6 out. Flappy Bird gone, and there's a 4th. Farton. That's a great name. With a PH goes down. I am 12, but you know what? That's okay. Outsiders is up to 55%.
Seek Matrix with a perfectly placed area denial there, right at the choke point, and ooh my, that's an early pick from Arcano. Really getting that bomb lobbed out there and forcing Solar to stagger even further. That's a little bit disappointing there.
Arcano did drop that right on Erie's head. You don't love to see that at all if you're Solar Eclipse, and here comes the Dragons. Almost finds the Reinhardt, but not quite going to be enough. Flappy Bird takes down Sorrow. Flappy Bird dealing a huge amount of damage for Solar Eclipse right now. Phantom Tissue hits Mixie, and that's picks in favor of Solar Eclipse, and they are probably looking to capitalize it right here. Here comes the bomb. Doesn't find anyone at all. Ooh,
Fortunately.
Not.
Fortunately, Solar is able to get that point turned over just in time as overtime begins. So they're not going to be drawing this fight out very long. They're able to get it, and as they're kind of cleaning up kills here, they have it in their possession, which is really good coming up from that 0 to 99. So the first bit of point control of the map. Solar's finally getting some points on the board here.
For that 0 to 100 real quick, but let's see if they're actually going to find it. The beat drop comes in from Mixie, but it's not enough to save Sorrow, who Flappy Bird summarily executes. That Shatter does find one, and Spartan takes down Mighty Magix before himself going down to Isha. Phantom Tissue taking out their counterpart Diva in Arcano. And that looks like things are going to stay going Solar Eclipse's way.
Solar Eclipse up to 50% on the point now, and in terms of ultimate bank, they have the Rally Up, which is a decent defensive ult, and looks like on the side of Outsiders they're going to be rolling up on 4 ultimates, even 5 during the fight. You've got the Dragon to open things up with, as well as this Area Denial, which Seek has proved he's very dangerous on, and here he goes in for a nice stun. He drops the field, and oh, everyone gets shielded, but they're zoned back, and Mighty Magic launches that Dragon directly into the area where they're forced back from. Perfect team play there, and it's going to be wiping, pretty much. From,
that's the 3rd time Flappy Bird has shot Isha with a Deadeye.
He's not a big fan of that Ana play, huh?
Clearly not. That overtime is starting to tick away, though. Mixie does kill Flappy Bird. I guess it's not all just lost yet. Spartan and Eerie still doing plenty of work on the point, delaying and contesting until other members of their team get back, and slowly they are beginning to trickle in, but is it going to be enough? Eerie pops the ultimate right now, trying to heal and damage whoever they can, but it doesn't look like enough. That big Area Denial comes in, so does the bomb, but Phantom Tissue does not find anybody as the bomb gets stuck up on the ledge. Eerie, though, does take down Seek Matrix before Arcano takes down Solar Eclipse's Reinhardt player. Flappy Bird is no longer on the McCree, switches over to the Tracer, and takes out Mixie.
The kills rolling in for Solar Eclipse, but they haven't been in control at this point, and so if they're able to turn it back, which they are, they're at 85%. It's going to be one fight territory, but it's not the victory, as Outsiders were able to bring that point back over to their control during the fight. So, a little bit disappointing, but only 5% separates them from overtime, and it's going to be the Hammond of Seek to try and get on the point, and a Diva Bomb to roll in, but it doesn't find anyone at the opening.
I've got you in my sights.
It's not like what you see at a key moment like this as a Diva player, not what you want to have happen to you. Missing a big pick like that, but Barton finds a major pick. Mighty Magics go down. Sorrow is taken out by Phantom Tissue. Mixie does trade out for Eerie. And Seek Matrix dies somehow. Arcano also destroyed. Things are kind of coming up Solar Eclipse's way.
It looks like it'll be the Coalescence from Mixie to try and Desperation stall out the point, and it's going to be a Dragon in from Mighty Magix from Spawn. Another Desperation play to try and get a pick on the side of Outsiders, but they're not able to, and it's going to be 1-1 Solar Eclipse bringing it back.
Well, like you said, maybe some maps just aren't one team's map. This one, though, clearly a much tougher fight.
Definitely tougher, and it looks like we're going to be getting a pause, a little bit of a connection error on the side of the Outsiders. A little bit of a disconnect. We'll get that sorted out in just a moment here. But rolling on to this last and final point of Oasis, this one is a map where you want to keep an eye out for the Reinhardts a lot. You've got that center pit, and what can happen is the Reinhardts play around that pit, and if one gets, say, booped down in there or CC'd down into the hole, that kind of leaves their entire team separated and exposed. So if you have those Reinhardts up, you can play around the shields pretty well, you can play behind cover, but if you lose someone in the hole, it's a little bit dangerous. So for that reason, you want to keep an eye out on those main tanks as well as the CC characters, so the Lucios, and if Outsiders decide to run that Hammond again, keep an eye on him.
And it looks like everybody is back there is a little bit of sorting problem going on right here. Seek Matrix is currently spectating, so we got to get them back into the game. Well, I guess we wait. What do we have going on in the chat while we're waiting? We've got Skullfits Gaming saying yeah. We've got a Solar and a That's My Team from Luth Ninja. Thank you, Luth Ninja.
It seems that Solar Eclipse is definitely the fan favorite here. With good reason, I would say. They've got a whole bunch of players on their roster, and they definitely showed some signs of life there in the last fight. Also, we tried to cast them last week, however, were not successful because their team ended up being disqualified. No one showed up, and I believe they disbanded. I'm not entirely sure.
What was the name of that team that disappeared?
Honestly, I don't even remember.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. They're gone forever. R.I.P.
They are gone. Kaput. And we're going to be seeing Seek Matrix saying goodbye to the Hammond as well. He's going to be rolling out on Reinhardt. We haven't seen the Reinhardt play from him yet. I'll be a little interested to see what's happening here. But, going to be seeing a Mei here. And that's a pretty interesting pick on the side. Solar Eclipse. Ooh, and a nice wall. The Reinhardt's completely zoned off. They're countercharged, and that's a nice early pick there. If the Mercy of Isha is able to res the Reinhardt there on point, things could change around, but with Flappy Bird getting that pick onto the Pharah, looks like the fight is already over.
Yeah, Solar Eclipse thoroughly taking that one. I wouldn't be surprised if they start trying to utilize oh boy, that name's gonna be butchered. Ooh, Trin. Hello. Nice shot. If they start using the Mei in a more aggressive frontal position, walling like we see right there. Arcano pinned by that wall and summarily taken down by Phantom Tissue. That is exactly what you want to see if you are running a Mei right now.
Yeah, you called it. That aggressive positioning was able to... ooh, very nice double kill there from Flappy. This whole aggressive positioning from the entire team is actually paying dividends, and Solar Eclipse pushing outsiders into their spawn, finally calling for a retreat here. But it looks like they're gonna have a couple ultimates online. Ooh, picked early, and that's gonna be that Mei ult going away, and it's gonna be 5 ultimates on the side of outsiders.
Oh, the Shatter's big.
It's a big
and
Shatter.
Sorrow's even bigger.
Bomb combo. That's huge. That's
the
a pretty
wombo in the combo.
That's a pretty clean entrance there if you're outsiders. Seek landing a large Shatter, and then Sorrow dropping a pulse bomb right in the middle of all those shattered people. It was a devastating combination. So easy cleanup there. However, it'll be on Trinth here to try and land a Blizzard for Solar Eclipse as they're walking in.
And let's see how successful they are. We haven't had any supreme ultimates taking down multiple people just yet, just 1 or 2 every now and again. Mighty Magix takes down Barton immediately, but Trinkless shoots them in the head from on high. Isha does bring them back, and that wall is causing a lot of havoc, but it's not all havoc that Solar Eclipse wants to have right now.
A little bit interesting commitment there from ultimates, and it seems that Solar Eclipse is still going into it despite being down a couple players. We're making the best of it, and a couple DPS kills. Printh doing their best to keep their team up as they're shattered. Seek landing a nice double shatter there, not able to find too much off of it, and might have been a good play if they were still in control of the point, but Solar is now down in percentage. Outsiders taking up at 70% and counting.
We are seeing outsiders beginning to fall back to the point here to defend on it instead of pushing forward into Solar Eclipse's renewed team push. But Mighty Magix is firing from on high. That Shatter does come down, and that Justice finds two. Mighty Magic takes down Flappy Bird and Phantom Tissue. Barton also falls. Strength also falls. And that's going to be a hard reset as Arcano mops up those that remain. And this is probably going to be map 3 for Outsiders. And it is.
Very good. Outsiders pulling the 2-1 victory here on Oasis. A hard-fought victory, and definitely not given to them. Seek landing some nice shatters there, and Mighty Magics with some great work on the fair, and that's exactly where we're going to see play the game here. The Graviton into the Justice, even though they're flashbanged almost immediately, still able to get 2 with that barrage kill. And then a little bit of cleanup here at the end, taking out that Lucio. Just some good setup and good combination there from the Zarya on the side of Outsiders, sorry.
You do really have to give Flappy Bird some props though for the heads-up play. Just no hesitation. Here's the Justice rains from above and immediately hurls the flashbang straight up in the air towards the fair, and that ultimately saved them.
Definitely. One thing that I would have liked to see on the side of Outsiders was saving that bubble for the Pharah player. And so if Mighty Magics had gotten a bubble, or even if they were Defense Matrix or something like that, they wouldn't have been stunned out of that ultimate. So kind of counting your cooldowns and making sure you have the appropriate cooldowns when you launch your ultimates, that's an important part of planning ultimates.
We're going to be waiting just a little bit here. There's a substitution taking place. Not sure what's going on right now, though, so I guess they're just taking a little bit of a break between matches.
Going to be moving on to Paris as our next map. And in fact, in the match pool for week 3, Oasis is the first one, Paris number 2, and then Hollywood going to map 3 in the best of 3 series. Any ties, or any overtime will be determined on Lijiang Tower. So rolling from the that assault, not assault, the control point map of Oasis, we're going to be moving onto an assault map now. Paris, not a map that we've seen a whole lot of in UGC. I'm not sure that I've actually casted this map before.
This is our first casting of this map.
Well, there you have it. So, Paris, in my opinion, I've not played this map a whole lot. I think it's a pretty boring map. I'm not gonna flame Blizzard on their map design, but it's not my favorite to play. I've scrimmed a couple times on it, and I always see bunker comps here. And so, speak of the devil, it's going to be Seek Matrix, Sorrow, and Mixie on that dynamic trio, the Orisa Bastion. Harassa, that's what it is. The harassing.
Harass the enemy team.
Yes. You got the Orisa, the Bastion, you got the Baptiste, and they're going to be forming that unbreakable bunker. And it looks like Solar Eclipse will be prepared for that. They're going to be sending Trinth out on the Sombra. So maybe a bit of scouting, maybe a bit of hacking from behind. If they can hack Bastion out of that configuration, the Sentry turret configuration, then they may be able to break the hard point.
I'm going to keep it real with you. I'm not even sure that I've ever seen this map before.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's a new map, Havana, coming out here pretty soon, so we're going to have to get practiced up on our maps, I think.
We definitely are, but what we are seeing right now is Solar Eclipse slowly making their way up to the choke point where Sorrow is ready to mow them down, give them Sorrow. But that was a very aggressive play by Barton, and it did not pay off at all. Phantom Tissue D-Mac and killed. Flappy Bird gone as well. 6 out destroyed, and that's mop-up duty for the Outsiders.
Barton was dead before he touched the ground. About midway through his jump arc, he was absolutely melted and fell to the ground there. Sorrow just able to output massive amounts of damage on this Bastion. And that's exactly what you expect from this comp. I think this one's going to be on Trinth to try and find a weakness, create a chink in this armor, and then have his team call and push in. He's looking for the hack now. Unfortunately, the whole team turns around to spot him. A little bit of a distraction, but it's not enough. And instead, it's going to be mop-up time. Kills all rolling the way. Outside.
Yeah, 6 Dow just kind of hiding around that corner sheepishly, getting out of the way as fast as he can. Going back to Zacabre Luna, where he is going to gather up his team and speed boost them forwards.
So we've reached the point in the game where it's become a lot harder to take point A. You know, you thought it was hard with the hard point at first. Now you have hard point plus ultimates, and chances are these next 1 to 2 pushes will just be over before they start, due to the Bastion ultimate and the Baptiste ultimate combo. And we're going to see Trinth actually swapping off the Sombra, and in my opinion, Sombra ult is probably one of the best ways to take care of this comp, but we'll see how Goats plays into it.
Oh boy, here comes Sorrow. Sorrow immediately kills Trinth. I bet they wish they stayed on the D.Va now, but it's too little too late. Arcano DMAX Phantom Tissue with Bart destroys Sorrow. Things... well, not anymore. Mighty Magics puts an end to that idea and kills 3. 6-Ow decides to get a little bit of a cheeky backline cap here, but that's probably going to be pretty short-lived. And it is. 6-Ow shot down in his prime by Arcano.
Much better.
Flappy Bird deciding to camp the backline here. He's going to try and take out this Bastion before they have a chance to come back. However, they did not count on the Pharah being here as well. So they're forced to fight 2 DPS here. He's running for his very life. And in the meantime, the rest of Solar Eclipse is going to be capitalizing and pushing onto the point. If they can run over this Orisa of Seek Matrix, they may be able to take the point. Seek is alone on point here, aided only by a Pharah.
Arcano does manage to get back in time, though, but Seek Matrix is gone, and the ultimate is gone, and they are going to get at least 1 tick. Mighty Magics isn't going to come down and try and contest at all, and he's just, oh, that boop didn't find anybody, honestly. We do finally see a contest coming in. Mighty Magics, though, is destroyed. And Paella elects to pop the Valkyrie right now in a 1-on-5. I'm not sure that that was an ideal time to do that. Sorrow is killed yet again, and Paella is taken down by Eerie. There's still a contest, and now the contest is gone. Objective A captured by Solar Eclipse.
Paella popping that Mercy ultimate may be a little bit questionable. However, it did bait out Eerie's Transcendence, and so that'll be Solar Eclipse down an ultimate as they walk into second point here, which is going to be a lot harder to respawn on because the defenders spawn so much closer than the attackers. The tides have kind of turned this time.
Oh my lord, Mighty Magics again takes out all 3 supports with the Justice from above. Seek Matrix adding some damage of his own. Sorrow going down to Flappy Bird, and that is a total team kill.
Yep. It'll be a setup time now for the Outsiders. They have a little bit of time to kind of get themselves together. They may elect to go back to a bunker comp, but seeing as though Seek is 60% to the area denial field, I think he's going to be staying on this Hammond. We saw him play Hammond to great effect on Oasis, so not too surprised here. I would not be surprised if Mixie swaps off the Baptiste pretty soon, though. I don't think there's a whole lot of value that you're going to be gaining from his ultimate or from his immortality field.
No, definitely not. Sorrow does switch over to a Hanzo on the sniper role here. Arcano takes down Trinth as Trinth pushes in on the Brigitte. That pick is not serving them well so far. Arn does take down Mixie's immortality field, and there's lots of damage being dealt in very tight confines. Spartan finally does go down. That's Solar Eclipse's main tank destroyed, but Arcano was DMAC'd in the process.
Lots of kills rolling in from the side of Outsiders, and they're deciding to stagger Phantom right now. A little bit unfortunate for the D.Va player here. Finally taken out. Their misery is over there. Sorrow ends their sorrow. Poetic.
I think we've made too many Sorrow puns.
Well, we have to get a little bit of puns in there for everyone's names.
This is right. This is right. But we're not going to make an active duty of it. But what we do have to point out is the fact that the outsiders are sitting with 6 ultimates, and now there are 5 as the dragons fly off harmlessly, doing absolutely no damage. But Seek rolls around the back line and destroys Eerie and Farton, setting them for a swim. That was rude. Seek, why?
Absolute disrespect. I didn't even see it there. He went for another cheeky kill, but not able to find it this time. Stunned out by Trinth. And still only 1 ultimate used there. Sorrow using that dragon to kind of zone people out, setting Seek up for that gigantic boop apparently. So this next push, we're going to see a lot of ultimates, potentially from both teams. But Mighty Magic's with this barrage, I think, will be the one to watch, as his could be the most impactful as they go through this choke point.
Heroes never die.
Seek comes rolling on through, doesn't manage to take anybody out on his roll, but the damage increased field is up. Oh, no one gets caught out in the shatter by Farton, and Farton now in the back line. Not going to be able to do anything. Oh my goodness, so many ultimates. Sorrow finds one, Arcano finds another. Eerie almost gets taken out by a pulse bomb, but not quite. Pela brings Mighty Magic's back, and Mighty Magic's, as soon as they return, destroys Farton. Trinthless taken down next. Eerie also gone. And goodbye Solar Eclipse. That push is dead.
Solar Eclipse has 0% on the second point, which is going to be a little bit tough with only 20 seconds left. They probably will have to rush onto point without their full team and have suboptimal positioning for this final fight, which is not great. The only saving grace is that they're not walking into any ultimates. The bad news is they don't have any ultimates of their own. So it'll be a dry fight here to finish things off, and we'll see how this goes.
This is just skill versus skill, and right now Mighty Magic's draws first blood. Eerie taking down Farton, also gone. Things are falling apart quickly for Solar Eclipse. Arcano is taken down by Flappy Bird, but Mixie is gone, Flappy Bird gone, Arcano gone, 6-0 gone, and with that, overtime is going to tick away, and the outsiders have held it to slightly less than 2 ticks on the second point.
0-1. Switching sides.
The sides swap over, and it will be Solar on the defense this time. You think they're going to run that cheesy bunker comp?
I mean, it worked out okay for the outsiders, so if I see a Bastion, I'm not going to be too terribly surprised.
We haven't seen a whole lot of those style heroes. We saw Flappy Bird playing the McCree earlier, and he was doing it to great effect. I thought he was playing really good on the McCree. So he may be the hit scan player, and he may be comfortable playing Bastion here. We've been seeing Trinth a lot on flex roles, such as the Sombra, so that might be interesting to see. Looks like he'll be over on the Pharah, perhaps, and it'll be a similar style bunker. Got that Pharah Mercy combination. The Mercy's good for that res, in case someone gets picked early. Mixie looks like they're going to be staying on the Baptiste for attack on the side of the outsiders, which I find a little bit interesting. Not sure what kind of value you're going to be getting out of Baptiste. However, I look forward to seeing what they can do with it.
Yeah, they've got some abilities here. Flappy Bird is going to be hanging out with Farton up on the top, as we expected in the bunker composition. And the outsiders are going to be coming in. They have the Pharah Mercy on attack, so I wonder if this is going to come down to a battle of direct shots between Mighty Magic and Trinth.
Definitely those Pharah dogfights are something that you like to see. However, it's going to be the hack onto the Baptiste, and Mighty Magic able to take out Flappy Bird there instantly, as well as the Baptiste of 6-0.
And the backline cap is real. Sorrow and Seek Matrix already have a tick and a half brought all the way up for themselves. Oh my, Seek again, moving Phantom Tissue off into the abyss. And, well, the Outsiders have 7 minutes to capture half a point.
That is going to be quite the hold there. Luckily for Solar Eclipse, they did get 50% on that point, and so they can still win. It won't be a tie. It'll be either a win or a loss. And Seek Matrix finds himself a little bit too deep in enemy lines here, taken out early, which means that Solar Eclipse has a little bit of a chance to stabilize here. Maybe build up a little bit of ultimates and poke, and Flappy Bird going to be swapping over to that McCree, which we saw him doing some insane work on. Hopefully be able to counter Mighty Magics on the Pharah here.
This, the Outsiders won the first map though, right? So if they get halfway, that's going to be GG's though, isn't it?
That is correct. So they're definitely... Solar Eclipse definitely fighting with their back up against the wall here, and even further up against the wall with all of these ultimates coming in. The EMP into a Pharah Barrage here pretty soon, potentially. Negative.
Maybe
Flappy Bird taken out. Takes him out. And kills are kind of coming side by side, blow for blow. The hat coming onto the Valkyrie Mercy of Eerie. Still able to output that healing. Not able to res, however.
Dueling bombs right there. Mixie runs back in and picks up 2 quick kills. Arcana, however, not able to contribute too much with a Reinhardt hammer swinging directly at them, and Mixie taken down by Farton as well, and that's a hold as the Outsiders are forced to fall back into the group.
Excellent work there from Trent, getting some high-value hacks off. I think he was able to really turn things around for his team. And in the meantime, Flappy Bird was able to take out Mighty Magics before they got their ultimate off. So that prevented quite a bit of wipe, I believe. So Flappy Bird has his ultimate up now. And if he can get that high noon off, get 1, maybe 2 players without getting picked, that's another couple, 30, 45 seconds taken off the clock.
That time is very, very precious, but I mean, the Outsiders still have 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go here to capture half a point, and they're currently working their way all the way around the back, into the back line. Trent is taken down by Mixie. That damage boost field is coming in right now. Oh my lord. Flappy Bird, good night. Mighty Magic says no. Sorrow and Arcano finding themselves. Mixie dead, Barton dead, and this is probably going to be it right here. The Outsiders are just moments away, and they take map 2 and the evening.
The Outsiders going with a 2-0 victory here, taking first Oasis and now Paris. Seek Matrix.
It's gonna be the double boop. Here it is. Watch this BM.
Got the setup from the dragon there.
And yeet.
Wow.
Double kill.
That is that's a huge setup, and sneak 100.
Sneak 100, yes.
Yes. Good play from Seek Matrix there on the Hammond. I honestly, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but I think Seek Matrix played insane utilizing that Hammond. We don't necessarily see Hammond a lot in any UGC matches. We'll sometimes see him when teams decide to run quad DPS compositions, but in this case, they were just kind of running like hybrid compositions. You'd have a D.Va, you'd have some DPS, you'd have 2 healers still. So it's kind of like a 2-2-2, but with Hammond. So I thought it was pretty cool.
I agree. So, have we reached that point of the evening already?
I believe we have that point of the evening being MVP time. And during this time, we'll give out MVPs for each of the teams. And we'll start out with Solar Eclipse, a team that I thought played pretty well. A little bit deceiving on the 2-0 score line here. However, they put up a good fight. And for MVP of Solar, who do you have?
I've got Flappy Bird, honestly. I think that they filled out a DPS role very, very successfully and contributed quite a few frags to Solar Eclipse's team fights.
Flappy Bird definitely filling those hit scan shoes pretty well, doing a great job on the McCree, also on the Bastion, so I will agree with that, but I would like to give a shout out to Trintless as well. He did a good job on the Sombra. Maybe needs a little bit more work on, choosing the targets that they want to hack early, and kind of like getting those opening picks for their team. However, they were able to do well with tracking their targets and confirming kills. So lots of high-value hacks in mid-fight. Maybe just a little bit of work on the early fight stuff.
I can agree with that. And over on the side of the outsiders, I'm going to give it to Seek. For all the reasons you listed earlier, and that boop was such bad manners.
The BM boop. Excellent work on the Hammond, and I think a worthy choice of MVP. I think Mighty Magics did a great job on the Pharah, getting tons and tons of frags, being able to open things up for his team, and kind of stop pushes using only one ultimate, so I think that's very noteworthy as well. Alright, well, I believe that will be it for us this evening. Thank you guys for tuning in to this UGC Beginners match. And if you are interested in watching some more Overwatch, go on and head over to... Well, I don't know if the match from the UGC official channel is still going on, but it might still be on, so go ahead and take a look there. And if not, tomorrow evening, there'll be a match on official UGC Twitch stream, and then Wednesday, Benny and I will be back on this channel casting more. So, lots and lots of stuff coming up for you this week. Hope you're able to tune in and enjoy some of it.
And that's all from me this evening.
Alright, well, again, thanks for the support, and we will see you guys later. Have a good night.
Peace.